Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. That's right. You know what it is. It's Wisdom Wednesday. Hello, folks. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video. I was actually going to just post a picture and do a reel and type in a message of everything I wanted to say today. And I said, no, can't cheat us out of this. It's been a long time, so I wanted to do a video. So today I wanted to come on and give us just an encouraging word. I don't know where you guys are in life right now, but wherever you are, our message for today, the title is Fresh Wind. And so I want to get into our scripture reading, and then from there, I will give us the message that the Lord has given me. All right. So forgive me because I don't actually own a message Bible, so I'm going to have to read this from my laptop. But our scripture reading is going to come from Psalms 51, and I'm going to start at verse 7 and go down to where I believe somewhere around 12 or 13. And so it says, "Soak me in your laundry and I'll come out clean. Scrub me and I'll have a snow white life. Tune me in to foot tapping songs. Set these once broken bones to dancing. Don't look too close for blemishes. Give me a clean bill of health. God, make a fresh start in me. Shape a Genesis week from the chaos of my life. Don't throw me out with the trash or fail to breathe holiness in me." Now, this is the part I wanted us to get. "Bring me back from gray exile. Put a fresh wind in my sails." Okay, so we got our scripture reading. I am just so excited for this season of life that God has me in right now, where He is filling me up with a fresh wind day by day by day by day. So, at the beginning of this post, I posted a video, or a picture, and it's just a collage of two pictures. So the picture that you all see was a plant that someone had purchased for my grandmother's funeral back in December. And my aunt was like, "Hey, do you want this plant?" And I was like, I do not have a green thumb. And I didn't want to take the plant, and then I let the plant die. So I was just like, no. And my uncle said, "Well, these plants are so easy to keep alive. All you have to do is give it water, give it sunlight." So I said, "Okay, fine. I'll take the plant." And so I took the plant and I put it, right on my windowsill in front of my big picture window. And needless to say, it was getting the sunlight because I put it where it needed to be. However, I was forgetting to water it from time to time. So the one picture that you see in the collage where I'm holding some dead leaves in my hand, and then the other side you see where there's like the little white flowers that are starting to sprout. So my message to us is just like that plant, where sometimes things happen and parts of the plant began to die off. But then at the same time, you see where there's in the same process from the water, when I do remember to water it, that the plant is starting to bloom. And so what I wanted to encourage us is that we are like that plant, that, depending on how much we water ourselves with the word, spending time with just silence, just time with God, surrounding ourselves by other believers who can encourage us, speak a word over us, that things in our lives that can look dead to us because of the circumstances. So your finances can look dead, your marriage can look dead, the situation with raising your children can look dead. even your own life, just on your job, things can look dead. So things can look and feel like they are dying. But I encourage us that the more that we remember to speak life over those things that look dead, go back to the scriptures, see what God's promises are, what he promises for our marriages, what he promises for our children, what he promises for our finances, what he promises for our health. Go back and read God's promises. Spend time just in silence with the Lord and tell him, Lord, this looks dead right now, but I know that you can revive it, and continue to speak life over those things that look dead. And just like that plant, even though I water it, I still had to pull those few little leaves off of there, because there are some of those days when I forget. And so there's those little brown leaves as they start to die off. But overall, as you see, the plant is still continuing to flourish. And so even with us, every day of life is not going to be a flourishing day, where we may have those moments where those brown leaves kind of come in our lives. But I want to just encourage us to remember that there is still life, and God can always come in and give us a fresh wind, just like the scripture reads. And I want to go back again and just read it. It says, "Do not look close for blemishes. Give me a clean bill of health. God, make a fresh start in me." So wherever we are right now, if we need a fresh start, God is so gracious that no matter where we are right now, that God can start over and he can give us a fresh start. So today I want to encourage us that wherever you are, wherever we are in life, whatever is going on, if we need God to give us a fresh start in that situation, whether it be your marriage, and you need God to just give you a fresh start. If it's parenting and it's with your children, Lord, give me a fresh start. If it's with your finances, Lord, give me wisdom. Give me wisdom to start over and have a fresh start. If it's in your business, Lord, give me a fresh start. If it's in your health, Lord, give me a fresh start. Whatever it is, ask the Lord, examine. Don't rush through it. Take the time to fully examine, what do you need the Lord? What do we need the Lord to do in our lives to give us a fresh start? Where do we need a fresh start? And I want to encourage us to also, when we're asking the Lord for the fresh start, truly examine our hearts to see if we are prepared to do the work. Because God will give us a fresh start, but you better believe that there's going to be some work and some things that he's going to require of us for that fresh start. So, one, I want us to examine our hearts and truly seek what it is we need for the Lord to do within us and give us a fresh start. Two, truly examine our hearts and see if we are ready to do the work. And trust me, some work may be easy, some work may be hard, but really examine our hearts to see, are we ready to make the sacrifices that are going to be needed for the fresh start that we seek from the Lord. The rest of the scripture says, shape me in a Genesis week from the chaos of my life. Do not throw me out like the trash or fail to breathe holiness in me. So if there's sin that's in our lives, examine that. Ask the Lord to, hey, don't throw me out because I sin, or I fail, bring holiness into me. And then it says, bring me back from gray exile. Put a fresh wind in my sails. Guys, you ever see something where it kind of just like, it just needs like a little push, And then once it gets going, it just kind of takes off. And so, whatever it is, just ask the Lord to give us a fresh wind. And that once He gives us that little bitty push to just keep on going. So, just like that flower, that plant that's in my living room, every time I see another one of those white flowers start to bloom, it makes me remember, like, Lashana, don't forget to water your plant, because I'm seeing the fruits of me watering it. So as the Lord puts a fresh wind within us and we start to see just that little push, and we go from, it may just go from a half a centimeter, we may just go from 0 to a half a centimeter, but we still moved. So the very first time I saw the one little white plant start to come, I was like, oh my goodness. And I got so excited. Well, that was just a little bit of fresh wind that plant needed from all the brown leaves that I was that was starting to form because of the days when I would forget to water it. But I still remembered, hey, but when I water this thing, this is what I can get from it. So when we ask the Lord to give us a fresh wind, and God gives us that fresh wind, that little bit, and He starts to water us, and we see that one thing, get excited, guys. Maybe it doesn't happen overnight. Maybe your marriage, you may see the one thing where your spouse comes in one day and they are like, oh my goodness, this is the husband or the wife I've been waiting for. Or your kids come in the house and you're like, oh, this is the child I was raising. And then like 2 days later, it falls apart and you see it and it's like, oh, it's back to normal. Just remember that fresh wind from that day when they came in and you saw the hopes and the promises of things looking up. And just continue to do our part, your part, to continue to water that thing and keep going back to God. However many times we have to go back to God and say, Lord, send us a fresh wind. So I pray that this has been a blessing to you all, as it was a blessing for me. And where's all my people that usually hold me accountable when I go for long times without doing our Wisdom Wednesdays? I need you guys to continue to call me out on my things, but I know that this is something that the Lord has given me, and so I just have to be obedient and continue to do so. So I pray that after a long break of not being here, that today, this word that the Lord gave for us today is a blessing to us all. All right, guys, this has been our Wisdom Wednesday. Blessings with a red heart, LB.